A Double-Barreled Detective Story by Mark Twain. A double-barreled detective story is a unique blend of mystery and satire that twists conventional detective fiction. The story features Sherlock Holmes in America, where he becomes involved in a complex case in a mining camp in California. The plot revolves around a young woman, Fetlock Jones, niece of Sherlock Holmes, and victim of a cruel act by her stepfather, Jacob Fuller. When Fuller joins the mining camp under an assumed name, Holmes uses his skills to uncover the truth. Twain uses this narrative to parody the detective genre and explore themes of revenge, mistaken identities, and justice. Let's deep dive into the book. Introduction to the setting and characters. Set in a small, vibrant mining camp in California, A Double-Barreled Detective Story introduces a cast of intriguing characters. Central to the narrative is Archie Stillman, a young man whose upbringing among Native Americans has endowed him with an extraordinary sense of smell, enabling him to track people and objects like a bloodhound. This unique ability sets Archie apart, defining his role and significance in the community as events unfold. Development of Archie's unique skills. Archie's background is explored in greater detail, revealing how his adoptive Native American family nurtured his olfactory skills to an almost supernatural level. These skills are not just a curiosity, but form the backbone of his involvement in the camp's dynamics and the mystery that envelops it. Archie's abilities are respected, but also regarded with a blend of awe and slight suspicion by his fellow campers. Arrival and integration of Jacob Fuller. The plot thickens with the arrival of Jacob Fuller, who adopts the alias Flint Buckner to escape a tormented past that includes the severe mistreatment of his stepdaughter. His presence in the camp is ominous, marked by an air of secrecy that does not sit well with the other residents. Fuller's interactions are tinged with hostility, particularly towards those who attempt to delve into his concealed history. Escalating tensions in the camp. As Flint Buckner, Jacob Fuller becomes a contentious figure, engaging in conflicts that exacerbate the camp's tensions. His abrasive nature and mysterious background make him a central figure in rising disputes, particularly with Archie Stillman, setting a confrontational tone that permeates the camp's atmosphere. Sherlock Holmes's satirical entry. The narrative introduces Sherlock Holmes into this charged environment. Twain's depiction of Holmes is both a tribute and a parody, showcasing the detective's legendary deductive skills while also poking fun at the conventions of detective fiction. Holmes's involvement brings a new dimension to the unfolding mystery, with his methods clashing and contrasting with Archie's intuitive approach. The murder of Flint Buckner. The story reaches a critical point with the murder of Flint Buckner, throwing the camp into turmoil. Archie employs his tracking skills in a practical, ground-level investigation, while Holmes uses his cerebral detective techniques, creating a dual yet discordant approach to solving the crime. This juxtaposition serves as a critique of detective methodologies, with Twain using both humor and tension to explore their effectiveness. Investigative misdirections and false leads. Throughout the investigation, both Archie and Holmes encounter misleading clues and deliberate misdirections, which complicate the mystery. These false leads serve to critique the infallibility of detective work, highlighting the susceptibility of even great detectives to errors and ego. Revelation of Archie's motive and identity. As the investigations draw closer to the truth, Archie's personal motives are revealed. His involvement is deeply personal, driven by a vendetta against the man he knows as Flint Buckner, who is in reality his abusive stepfather, Jacob Fuller. This revelation adds a layer of emotional complexity to the narrative, intertwining the pursuit of justice with personal revenge. The climactic confrontation and moral quandaries. The climax of the story unfolds with a dramatic confrontation that not only resolves the mystery of Buckner's murder, but also forces the characters to face the moral implications of their actions. Archie's quest for justice is tested against his desires for personal vengeance, highlighting the ethical dilemmas that often accompany the pursuit of retribution. Concluding reflections on justice and truth, the novel concludes with the characters and the community reflecting on the nature of justice and the complexities of human morality. Twain's closing remarks offer a satirical yet poignant critique of the detective genre, questioning the notion of absolute truth and the moral righteousness of its pursuers. The camp is left to ponder the transformative impact of the events, considering the nuanced interplay between justice, revenge, and redemption in shaping human relationships and societal norms. Let's explore together the main themes and concepts of the book. Critique of the detective genre. Mark Twain uses a double-barreled detective story to satirize the conventions of detective fiction, particularly targeting the character of Sherlock Holmes. Through parody and humor, Twain explores the limitations and absurdities of the detective archetype and its methods. The juxtaposition of Sherlock Holmes's logical reasoning with Archie Stillman's extraordinary sensory abilities highlights the fallibility and sometimes the pretentiousness of the detective methods glorified in popular detective stories. Revenge and justice. The novel delves into the complex interplay between revenge and justice. Archie's quest to confront his stepfather, who he learns is living under a false identity, drives the plot. This personal vendetta serves as a catalyst for broader reflections on the motivations behind seeking justice and the ethical considerations of taking revenge. Twain scrutinizes whether the pursuit of personal revenge can be justified under the guise of seeking justice, and what happens when the lines between the two are blurred. Identity and deception. The themes of identity and deception run deeply throughout the story. Characters adopt false identities and deceive others, either as a means of self-protection or to manipulate and control. The revelation of true identities and the consequences that follow explore how deception can corrupt and complicate lives. Twain uses these themes to comment on the nature of truth and the impact of lies within a community. The human condition and flawed nature. Twain's portrayal of his characters reflects on the flawed nature of humanity. Each character's strengths and weaknesses are exposed through the narrative, showcasing how their flaws influence their decisions and interactions. The novel presents a somewhat cynical view of human nature, suggesting that people are inherently self-interested and capable of betrayal, even in a context that calls for solidarity and honesty. The role of technology in society. Although more subtly, the novel also touches upon the impact of technology on society. Archie's supernatural tracking ability, a metaphor for the rising influence of technology, is used to critique how technological advancements can be both a boon and a bane. Twain seems to caution against over-reliance on technology, implying that it can lead to a loss of human touch and ethical considerations, much like how reliance on detective methodologies can overlook deeper emotional and moral complexities. Let's talk about the author. Mark Twain, born Samuel Langhorne Clemens in 1835, is a cornerstone of American literature, celebrated for his witty humor and sharp social commentary. Growing up in Hannibal, Missouri, his experiences as a riverboat pilot inspired his most famous works, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Twain's writing is notable for its use of vernacular speech and satire, effectively critiquing societal norms and injustices. His influential body of work includes novels, essays, and narratives that often highlight the absurdities of human nature. Twain passed away in 1910, leaving a profound impact on American cultural and literary landscapes. Sincere thanks for watching. If you found this summary helpful, consider taking a moment to hit the subscribe button, like or share the video. If you have any feedbacks or book requests, make sure to leave a comment. Regardless, I wish you a great day.